what's on the vice president's schedule today?
Well, she's traveling and talking to voters and getting her message out there to the American people.
I don't think she's got any campaign events on the schedule today, does she?
Well, she and Governor Walz have been traveling across the country.
Would it kill you guys to have a press conference? Why hasn't she had a press conference?
Listen, the Vice President and Governor Walz have been busy crisscrossing this country.
Can you commit to a press conference before the end of the month?
We will commit to directly engage with the voters that are actually going to decide this election.
I've not spoken to one regular Democrat who cares about this at all, to Dana's point. They are living in the coconut-pilled moment. The press is already saying it'll be, quote, light on detail. They don't know. Could it be as light as big and beautiful? I doubt it.
Are you actually arguing that Donald Trump is held to a lower standard than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, actually I am.
What's going on, guys? So we got to talk about Trump deranged Jessica Tarlov back on the five. So you all know that she has absolutely no sense and just shills for the left constantly. And today she did the exact same thing, essentially trying to defend the fact that Kamala Harris is hiding in her basement and is trying to say that nobody cares about this, even though there's literal videos out there of people saying like, hey, Kamala doesn't really seem like she's all that active. We haven't really seen a whole lot of press conferences from her. We haven't really seen a whole lot of her talking, answering questions, talking about policy, things like that. You know, something that you would expect a presidential nominee for the United States to do. Jessica, of course, being a radical leftist shill, completely defends cackling, lying fraudster Kamala Harris. Without further ado, let's get into it.
You know, Newsweek had a headline, Jessica, and they rewrite Trump's pledge to eliminate taxes on tips as, quote, Kamala Harris's tax proposal. And they go on to say that the majority of Republicans endorse her tax proposal.
What?
Yeah, so
I mean, isn't that a bit much?
well, the thing with the no tax on tips policy, which the Democratic
incoming defense for the radical left. 3, 2, 1.
Senators have endorsed, and it has bipartisan popularity, but there is a distinction between the way the Democrats would do it and the way that Trump would do it. So the way the Kamala Harris plan would work is there would be an income limit, because right now there's a loophole in Trump's approach which would allow people like corporate lawyers, for instance, to take advantage of it, or people who work at hedge funds.
Are you stupid or something?
So they want to make sure that it's actually for people who are earning low wages.
How do you know that, Jessica? I don't recall Kamala Harris talking about the details of this. How the hell do you even know this?
And I should note that the Culinary Union came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. Donald Trump went on this whole thing like, I'm so good for the servers. And he did this in Las Vegas. They talked to a woman who said, you know, my tips are getting taxed. And the Culinary Union didn't care and endorsed Kamala, who they believe will be better for her.
But it was not her tax proposal. In fact, 2 years ago, she voted to strengthen the IRS.
I'm saying there's bipartisan support for it, but the way that she's doing.
No, we're talking about Kamala, not bipartisan.
She is.
Yeah, so this is something a lot of people don't know. Kamala Harris literally worked to ensure that the IRS would go after people who were not properly reporting their tips so that they could be taxed.
According to new data released by Syracuse University, the IRS continued the historical trend of hassling primarily low-income taxpayers while auditing very few millionaires and billionaires last year.
Very simple. So not only is there plagiarism, but Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, which, by the way, increased IRS monitoring requirements for tips.
Now, all of a sudden, because Donald Trump has his no tax on tips proposal, now they're trying to claim this is some sort of bipartisan support. If by bipartisan support you mean bipartisan support as of a few days ago, then yeah, Jessica, you're right, but you would also be a lying fraudster just like cackling Kamala Harris. Because it damn sure wasn't no bipartisan support for this before. As a matter of fact, the news media lambasted this as a bad thing that Trump was trying to do it. Now because Kamala's trying to do it, whoa, maybe we want to try to rewrite history here, which is what they always do, is try to rewrite history and try to gaslight their way through every single news media post, video, commentary, opinion piece, whatever it is. Jessica is doing the exact same thing. These people are all cut from the same cloth.
Well, but she's part of bipartisan, which is why Jackie Rosen is also in support of it. Can I say also about the no press conferences thing? I've not spoken to one regular Democrat, no one who works in media, who cares about this at all, to Dana's point. They are living in the coconut-pilled moment, and when it ends, and I'm sure that...
Jessica's talking about Democrats that are hardcore Democrat. I don't think that a lot of hardcore Democrats care about it either, but a lot of independent voters do, a lot of swing voters do. So to say nobody cares about this is just plain foolish.
She will do interviews. Maybe she'll sit down with Leslie Stahl and she'll do it with Tim Walz and do something big after the convention, but she will be in front of people nonstop next week. Donald Trump has been, for instance, saying that he's going to introduce a big, beautiful health care plan, and there are no specifics on it. And Kamala is being held to a standard where she has to tell you the nuts and bolts of things, where people are saying, you tell us exactly that. She's supposed to talk about her economic plan on Friday. The press is already saying it'll be, quote, light on detail. They don't know. Could it be as light as big and beautiful? I doubt it.
Are you actually arguing that Donald Trump is held to a lower standard than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, actually I am. If
Next up.
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Okay.
Get out! Get out!
Yo, chill, man. Chill, man. Chill.
Wow.
I'm going to get rid of Obamacare, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Then that is the lowest standard of all time.
Republicans aren't really known for creating large government programs.
You still need a health care policy.
Well, this lady literally just said, they asked Trump specific questions about stuff all the time. He said what he's going to do for immigration. He said what he's going to do for the economy, which are the two main and biggest issues. He's also talked about what he's going to do with all of these different wars going on and how he's going to end the wars by getting the leaders together, having some sort of peace treaty. Like, Donald Trump has solutions. Kamala Harris just says, we're going to protect reproductive rights and voting rights. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Who the hell doesn't have voting rights besides people in prison? Reproductive freedom, who doesn't have reproductive freedom? Every single place where you can't get an abortion, they have exceptions to where you can get them. There's timelines for it. These people want total freaking anarchy and infanticide, effectively.
You know what? The healthcare policy doesn't need a huge government program. It's about private stuff.
Also, she gets away with being for Medicare for all and then not, and then whatever. Yeah, but also Donald Trump did not come up with no taxes on tips for corporate lawyers and hedge fund managers.
Right. I tip my hedge fund managers all the time.
Yes. Then why isn't there
Only
an
around
income
Christmas.
limit?
Look at Jessica still desperately trying to argue at the end. I'm like, Jessica, the segment's over. Nobody even talking about it anymore. Nobody talking to you anymore. She just want to just argue for no reason. Again, I mean, just look at the lady's face. Like, Jessica always seems like she's the most unhappy person there. She's never like laughing and having a good time. She's just sitting up there. The only time she feels like she's having a good time is when she feels like Kamala Harris is like winning, or she feels like Joe Biden did something good. She feels like her side is winning. Whenever it comes to anything else, be it just basic conversations, be it just her just sitting there idle, she just seems like she's just a miserable person. This is essentially the people in the world who we have to deal with and who we have to defeat this November, because you got nutcases like this out here who will literally make every excuse in the book. Kamala Harris can flip-flop, pollywop, and go whatever direction that she feels like. And Tarlov will literally say that the news media is being too hard on her and that they need to be harder on Trump. You know, the guy who can't catch a break to save his damn life. You know, the guy who they tried lawfare against and removed from the ballot and the person who they're so upset about that they're trying to impeach and remove Supreme Court justices. Yeah, this is the guy who apparently the news media is going too light on. They're being too soft on Donald Trump, and instead they need to be a lot tougher on him and lighten up on Kamala, because they're just treating her too harshly. What a freaking nutcase. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Are you actually arguing that Donald Trump is held to a lower standard than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, actually I am.